check some other news here. Good morning, YouTube and TikTok. Welcome to the Wolfpack pre-market press release. Happy hour. Yeah, I'll do a third shift today. Jeff M., good morning. All right. Well, I hope that everybody caught NVAX early this morning. Good morning, Perry. Hopefully you all got NVAX. Good morning, Sheila. Sheila is on duty and ready to go over there in TikTok, or excuse me, YouTube land. We are watching NVAX. I hope you guys caught that stock this morning, early pre-market. Wolfpack was on that one real early this morning. We had some entries below $5, a lot of entries around $6. And we've been watching it ever since. We've had folks jumping into that multiple times this morning, 2, 3, 4 times, jumping in, jumping out, taking advantage of that beautiful run, locking in profits. Still reading the news, but I think all eyes are on NVAX right now, waiting to see what that one's going to do today. Good morning, Terry. SHCO, nothing there. Financials. Let's go back to NVAX. And you can see on the chart that we've put up here on the screen for you how it bounced off of that $10 area again, dropped below it for just a split second down to 989, and then bounced right back up again. And I really wanted to see that. I wanted to see if that 10 spot was going to hold up. And it sure did. So that's good. G-Wave pumped and dumped the minute you got off. Did you do that? No, I didn't do that. No, I did not. I don't have that much influence on the stock price. All right, let me continue reading news. We're going to keep watching NVAX. See how well it does here. And I'll keep reading the news. OSG, SHCO, financials, nothing there. Fridays are typically pretty slow on news. We don't get a lot of great press releases on Fridays, typically. That's kind of the standard. However, we did get a nice one this morning on NVAX. $1.4 billion deal. Don't usually get nice ones like that on Friday, so that definitely was a blessing. That was definitely a blessing for us this morning. Let's go back and sort by volume. NVAX, let's see, sounds bouncing up a little bit. SRTS popping. SRTS. You guys will remember that one from after hours yesterday. It's starting to pop back up again. It's up 40%. Wiza's up 22%. Wiza still continuing to climb. Wolfpack was talking about that one this morning as well. So we've got a couple of them that are running this morning pretty nice. NVAX, of course, LIDR that came down from where it was at in after hours. SRTS running again. Wiza pushing up. So there's 3 or 4 of them that have done really well here this morning. T-Bird, good morning. Cake, I'm hoping for an NVIDIA run today. That would be nice. We hope that it runs for you as well. Chat is pretty slow on YouTube this morning, and I'm sure Sheila appreciates that. Good morning, Silver Fox. Robert Carter, good morning. Wiza still climbing. It's up to 374 now. That started the morning off here this morning in pre-market right at 7 o'clock. That started off around $3.18 and has managed so far to get up to 375. So a nice little climb on Wiza. SRTS, again, I'll mention it again. Just hit 570. Again, a beautiful run on this stock. 575 now. Started the morning off at $4.72, and it just hit 576. Again, another nice run that the Wolfpack has been watching. Couple of really nice runs here. AMST, little news on Momo. Hopefully everyone's using their scanners this morning. If you're not with the Wolfpack, and even if you are with the Wolfpack, we rely on those scanners. Momo scanner, Bazinga Pro. Of course, my watch list, everyone else's watch list. 592 now on SRTS. Hopefully you guys got a piece of that. And a piece of Wiza, WISA. Mose D, good morning to you. 374 on Wiza, WISA. Now let me take a look at that for you, Thomas. Don't see any reverse splits in there on that chart. So those highs are actuals. And as you can see here on NVAX, look what happened to that $10 spot. Broke through that really, really ugly, real ugly. Massive drop there. Let's see where all the attention is going. SRTS, also big drop on that one. Visa holding up pretty good though. So two of the three that we were really counting on here are dropping. But we made money on NVAX this morning. Boatloads. Good morning. Morning, Kim. Me TV, good morning. Hopefully everybody is catching those. Let's see. SPY is up. SPY is green this morning. XBI is green. All good news. SRTS continues to fall. Visa pulling back just a little bit. Holding up better than the others. We'll see what other news we've got here. BLNK news. Price target change. OB news, price target change, and OSG, first quarter revenues, zero volume. Looks like NVAX is trying to push back up again. What time did the NVAX news come out? Looks like about three hours ago. Looks like it came out about 3 hours ago. Early pre-market trading. Most of the wolf pack had jumped into that using like Webull accounts, because you can trade at 4 a.m. with Webull. And a lot of them were using their Webull accounts to get in at 5 o'clock in the morning, 4:30, 5 o'clock. Wolfpack was talking about it on Discord early this morning. We had some folks in it below $5. So if you're using, like E-Trade or some other platforms that don't allow you to start trading until 7 o'clock, you missed out on that real early, nice entry on that one. I always recommend everybody to have more than one trading account, preferably an account of brokerage like Webull that allows you to trade at 4 o'clock in the morning, if you're so inclined to get up that early. If you're so inclined to get up that early, that is really early in the morning to get up trading. I've tried it a few times and it's exhausting to be up that early trading. But if you're a night owl and you don't mind being up that late or being up that early, I should say, then Might be some third shifters out there that don't mind being up at 4 a.m. in the morning. Scott, how was vacation? Well, it wasn't really a vacation, but I did enjoy my time. I had to go up north, up into Michigan, where my dad lived. My dad passed away back in December, and he had a storage shed at one of those storage facilities, and it was full of stuff, full of his stuff. And we had to go through, my siblings and I flew up north and spent a couple of days going through it, emptying stuff, donating stuff to Goodwill. We kept a few things, but gave some away to family, threw a lot in the garbage. It was just a lot of junk. But we finally got it all cleared out. So it was a nice couple of days. Got to spend some time with my sisters, and it was nice. All right, so let's go back to volume and look at Weeza. Weeza says, hold my beer. Look at Weeza. Now up, we just smacked $4. What a nice run. I hope you guys made some money on that. Started out at $3.18 this morning. Started running and hasn't stopped. Tony Stark. Well, I've never been called Tony Stark, but I'll take that one. I'll take it. NVAX is trying its little heart out, man. It is just trying. It's trying so hard to get back up over $10. Wild Storm, good morning. No, we didn't find anything really cool, Scott. Just normal day-to-day stuff that he had. Just stuff he had in his apartment when he had his own place. So it wasn't really anything special in it. NVAX. Look at Weeza. Is everybody paying attention to Weeza? That's 428. You can only mention it so many times. Oh my, oh my. That thing is going crazy. What a beauty. That's what we like to see. What do you do? Well, if you mean on the live stream here, we are actually live on our website right now. And we do YouTube and TikTok for just a very short amount of time in the mornings. But we're on the website for about 3 hours. And we are a stock call out community. And we look for runners in pre-market. We look for those stock runners, the press releases, primarily press releases. And we try to call those press releases out to our community so they have an opportunity to jump into those stocks when the news first comes out. So if you're somebody that likes to trade in pre-market and you like to catch those press releases the second they come out, then this is the place to be. But not everybody trades on press releases. But we're just on YouTube and TikTok for just a very short amount of time. Make people aware of our community. NVAX was a good example of that. We were on top of NVAX early this morning in pre-market, early. And that stock ran so far, it hit 1272. We had a bunch of folks getting in below 6, and a bunch of them that jumped in around 605, 607. And it was up over 200% this morning. So nice 200% runner for the Wolfpack already this morning. I'm reading comments from 4 different platforms, trying to answer everybody's questions. Good morning. Good morning. It hit 1420 early this morning. Okay. I was watching it from 7. I guess I should clarify that. I meant from 7 o'clock on, it hit 1272. But in pre-market earlier than that, yes, it was a little bit higher than that, for sure. Seems to be going sideways, though. We're going to keep an eye on it. All right. So let's see. NVAX struggling. SRTS pulled way back. Visa has pulled back some off of that nice high of $4.37. Here's another press release on NVAX. Just general market news saying the shares are surging on a $1.4 billion deal. It's 2 p.m. for you. Well, good afternoon. Good afternoon to you. Where are you at that it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon? I'm in Central Florida, so it's only 7:53 a.m. here. And yes, I fixed the pizza box. Robert, good morning. Trying your other account must have been hacked. Yeah, if you're referring to TikTok, Drew, the one you're on right now watching live is the only account I have. The other ones that look like this are all fake profiles. They're all fake accounts. So if you do a quick search on Wolfpack Community, the one that's live right now is the only one that's valid. The rest of them are all fakes. South Africa, welcome and good afternoon. NVAX still struggling. Visa just will not give up, will it? Back to 427. Visa is just a monster. It is doing very well this morning, and I hope you were able to jump into that quick and early this morning. Chaz, Naples, good morning. I'm up in Zephyr Hills. A couple hours away from you, north of you there. Love Naples area. It's beautiful area down there. In fact, we have several of our community are from Naples and down in that area. No, I didn't do pizza last night. I made up a big yummy pot of spaghetti. Guam, John. Good morning from Guam. What time is it in Guam? I doubt that it's morning. I'm also a crypto trader. Coach, can I learn more from you too? I don't do any crypto trading, unfortunately. I have done some crypto trading in the past, but it's not my wheelhouse. It's not something I pay attention to. It must be tomorrow in Guam. You're in the future. It's probably tomorrow in Guam. 9:56 p.m. in Guam. Wow. Yeah. Can you give us tonight's lotto numbers? That would be great. Well, thank you very much. Thank you. Got a lot going on in front of me that you can't see. I use 3 monitors. They're 32-inch monitors, 3 of them. So I got a lot of screen in front of me. But for what I do, I need 3 screens. WISA pulled back. NVAX still going sideways and really struggling. Need that back over $11 to make me happy. Let's see, where are we at with WISA? 391. SRTS going sideways. FWBI news. First Wave Biopharma to raise approximately $1.1 million in gross proceeds, priced at market. So we've got an institutional investor that's going to purchase 366 million shares, or excuse me, 366,000 shares of common stock at a price of $2.95 in a direct offering. They're going to buy them at $2.95, and right now the price is at the bid's at $2.32. But there's 0 volume on that stock this morning. But thank you very much. Yes, Joey, we are on NVAX. We were on NVAX at 5 o'clock this morning. Down below $6. The Wolfpack was on it, without a doubt. And we hope you were too. All right, here's our 8 o'clock news dump. Let's see what we got. Upcoming investor conference. Nothing there. European position partnership. Health food uncensored. Financial results. OCUP. SOND, class action lawsuit. PRME, first quarter financials. SMWB, collaboration with SimilarWeb to enhance privacy safe AI model training. VUZI, full color waveguides display week. Prax, first quarter financials. AEMD, positive results in an in vitro binding study in removing extracellular vesicles from cancer patient plasma. AEMD. AEMD. There's a freebie for you. AEMD. Update on leukemia study, presenting at a conference. Excuse me. Nothing there. So that was all of the press releases at 8 o'clock. We had about 9 of them. All of them fluff news. Here's a 10th one here. CREX, first quarter financials. A couple of first quarter financials, class action lawsuit, a couple of conferences. Nothing major. Here's another one on TLS, first quarter financials. Let's see. Now, I gave you AEMD the second the news came out. That news was about 30 seconds old when we called it out just now. And it's gone from $1.25 to $2.95 in 3 minutes. How many of you were on top of that one? You have a good day, Mail View. How many of you got it? Jump in and jump out. Got AMD at 229, 210 to 281. Nice. Folks were paying attention. I like that. Jumped in and jumped out. Rode up the news, rode up the momentum of the news, and then jumped out. Took advantage of that. Now, some of you will ride it up about $1 a share and jump out and lock in profits. That's great. Others will have some pretty strong diamond hands and hold it a little bit longer. We just hit $3.20 on that call out. So now you have an idea how this works. The news comes out, I call out the news, or another member of our community calls it out. We jump in on the news, ride the momentum up of that press release, and then lock in profit. So now you have a good idea how that works. All right, let's take a look at some more news that just popped up here. AVXL, price target change, TSL, projection for second quarter, OCUP, some financials, PULM, first quarter financials, but no volume. Looking good, looking good. AEMD is up 128% on that. IP, looks like that one had a nice climb yesterday. AEMD pulling back. Now remember, on some of these stocks now, right at 8 o'clock, don't get too concerned with the candles. When you see those candles making those wild fluctuations at 8 o'clock, don't pay any attention to that. Don't let that fool you into thinking that the stock is skyrocketing all of a sudden and kind of head fake you into jumping in. Don't let it do that to you. That's market makers flushing out orders. Don't let that draw your attention away from the bid and the ask price. Pay attention to the bid price and the ask price. When you start seeing those candles fluctuating at 8 o'clock, and sometimes that'll go on for about 10 minutes. So pay attention to the bid price and the ask price, not the candle at 8 o'clock. Any other time, yeah, you can watch the candles for sure. But at 8 o'clock, you get a lot of flush and you get just some wild movement. All right, let's go back to AEMD. Let's see how that one's flushing out. So now you see the play there, and that's generally how most of those pre-market runners on news, generally how they play out, just like we're seeing AEMD play out right now. They spike up really nice on the news. AMD went from $1.25 on that press release to $3.33. So a massive jump on that. But it all happens within about 3 to 4 minutes. So the key there, the secret to making money on that is to get in as soon as the news come out. If you're just now catching the news on AEMD, you've missed the majority of that run. So catching that press release early. So whether you catch it from us or some other community, it doesn't matter, or catching it on your own, make sure you've got a way of catching those press releases. Find some platform, whether it's Momo Scanner, Bazinga Pro, FinViz, Yahoo Finance, or your trading platform, Webull, whatever you're using, use something to catch those press releases as quickly as possible, the second they come out, so you can take advantage of them and jump into them. That was one of the really frustrating things for me when I first started trading. Was I was popping over on StockTwits, and because I didn't know where else to go to find stocks to trade. I was brand new at it, literally brand new at trading, had no clue. And I constantly was seeing these stocks that were up 150%, 180%, wishing I had gotten in. And I further research, I found out that the reason they were up 150% or 200% was because there was a press release that came out in pre-market and the stock took off running. Unfortunately, I was about 30 minutes late seeing it because I was seeing it from other people posting about it. Word of mouth on like StockTwits. People would say, my gosh, look at that stock run. It's crazy. And then I would go look at it, but I was about 20 or 30 minutes late to catching the run because I didn't see the news. So I knew there was there was a trick there. I knew that the secret to getting in on those pre-market runs was catching the news immediately. And so that's what I focused my attention on, was figuring out a way to get that news and get it the second it pops up. And if you've got to have three or four different websites that you're watching simultaneously to do that, then that's what you need to do. I've got it narrowed down to just two, so I'm getting pretty damn good at finding these press releases. And our community is absolutely rocking it today. Price target change on ADMA, AQMS. There. MNDR. Price target change on BTAI. Let's go back to our micro list. There. EC. Donating ban holders, calls holders, so it's domestic public debt meeting. Okay, that's fluff news. Let's go back and check Visa, pulled back, AEMD. Nice run on that one. SOUN, Sound, still pushing up. SOUN still running from this morning. AEHL. Let's see what else. SLNA. That's about it. MNDR expands its services to Malaysia. MNDR got a little bit of a pump on the news, but it fell. Went from 235 to 249. Not a massive jump. Fell back to 235 again. It's up to 244 right now. Let's see, MNDR, LIDR pushing up. LIDR pushing up, nice. You'll remember that's from our after hours yesterday. That was the one that the Wolfpack called out yesterday. LIDR had a nice run in after hours. Sank back down this morning, starting to push back up again. Let's see if we can get it back up over 180 again. Another press release on AEMD. Just reiterating earlier news. SMSI. Another offering. SMSI. Nothing there. So overall, not too bad of a morning. We've had several good runs this morning. What do you use? I use, let's see, what's something that fast do you use a trailing? Let me start with Robert. During regular market hours, I use typically a hard stop. I don't use a trailing stop typically. Um, I do use trailing stop once in a while, but mostly just a real hard stop. But in pre-market, you can't use stop losses, unfortunately. So everything has to be a mental stop loss in pre-market or after hours. They don't allow you to put in a stop loss order in pre-market. So everything's a mental stop on that. And what I always tell everybody on those runs, when you jump in on a news and it runs up very quickly in the first 3 minutes, um, a lot of times they're going to run up nice for 2 or 3 minutes, sometimes 4 minutes, but then they start to fall. They start to get weakness and they start falling down again. And it's very typical, very, very typical in pre-market. And what I always tell everybody is figure out ahead of time where your profit target is in terms of percentages. And don't worry about price movement after it hits that. If you jump into a stock and you already know in your head because you've already planned it out, it's part of your trading strategy, it's part of your plan. You jump in and you've said to yourself, when this thing gets up to where I'm 10% return on my investment, I'm out. Or it's 12%, I'm out. But set an amount for you that's your price target. And I usually recommend doing percentages instead of a dollar amount. So if you're up 10% on a run like that on a press release and you're happy with 10%, and you should be happy with 10%, by the way, 10% return on investment is pretty darn good for any investment. So 10% is nothing to laugh about. Maybe 15 is your spot. Maybe you say, or 20. Let's pick 20. You put $100 into a stock, and you're up $20. That's 20%. So when you're up 20% on your investment, your return on your investment rather is 20%. That's your sell point. You just sell. You don't worry about it. What if it goes higher? Don't worry about that. You set it at 20 because you were happy at 20. So 20 is your spot. Or maybe 10 is your spot, or 5. But you got to have that in your head already. You got to know that ahead of time. You can't jump into it and then play it by ear and guess like, well, I'm up 10, maybe it'll go to 15, and then it hits 15. You think, oh, maybe I'll wait till it's up 20, and because you'll end up talking yourself into holding as it climbs up, which is not bad. However, in pre-market, these things crash very, very quickly. So you could go from being 20% up to being 5% in the hole very, very quickly. So knowing that ahead of time, you set your price target and you just jump out and lock in that profit. Pay yourself. That's why you jumped in the first place, was to make a little profit. Maybe it's not a huge amount of profit. That's okay. That's okay. Take a base hit. You know the old baseball adage, the games are won from base hits. You're not going to get a grand slam every single time. You're not going to get a home run every single time. Take those base hits. Take those small gains. Take them, take them, take them. They add up over time, I'm telling you. So don't be worried too much about knocking it out of the park every single time. Yeah, Michael, another great point. Scale out. You know, if you jump in, it's up, you're up on your investment 10%, and you think it's going to go a little bit higher, scale out. Sell off a third of your position. Sell off a half of your position. Let it climb up a little bit more. Sell off a little bit more. Scale out as it goes up. That's always a nice way to do it as well. The trick is, and the point I want to drive home is, don't hold it forever. Don't hold it thinking it's just always going to keep going up, because it's not. It's not going to just forever keep going up. It's just not going to happen. At some point, especially in pre-market. Now we're talking pre-market here. We're not talking regular trading hours, just pre-market. At some point in pre-market, those things are going to tank, and they're going to tank on you badly. So you've got to be prepared for it. Ride it up, take your profit, pay yourself, and then get out. It's very, very important. So that's enough of my preaching for now. Don't hold any bags. Cut your losses. Bag holding is one of the worst things in the world you can do to yourself, especially as a new trader. It's so hard not to hold bags, but I'm telling you, you're going to thank yourself. One of the worst things you can do as a new trader, and this happens a lot, you jump into a stock, you have a great entry on it, it runs up, you could have locked in profit, but you didn't because you thought it was going to go higher, and it starts to fall. Now, in your mind, you're telling yourself, it was up here before, maybe it'll go back there again. And if it goes back there again, I'll sell this time. And it doesn't go back up. It keeps dropping. And at some point, you tell yourself, okay, I was up $200 on that position. Now I'm only up $15. I don't like $15. I liked my 200 a lot better. So I'm going to wait and see if it turns around. I'm going to wait and see if it curls back up again, because I'd kind of like to have that 200 back that you could have gotten the first time, by the way. And then it continues to drop, and it continues to drop. Now you're in the hole. Now you're in the red on your position. Now you're really telling yourself, it'll go back up. I don't want to sell it in the red. I was up $200. Now I'm in the red, $15. I don't want to be in the red, $15. I was just up $200. So I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait. And I'm going to let it curl back up and see if it climbs back up. And it doesn't. It continues to drop. Now it drops to a point where you will convince yourself that it's gone so low now, I'm so far down on my position, I can't sell. I'd be crazy to sell now and take a loss. So I'm just going to hold it and hope that it goes back up. And you will convince yourself of that, and you'll hold it while it tanks. And while it tanks, and you'll continue watching that red build and build and build and build until you've absolutely told yourself, can't sell now. I'm too far in the hole. And I know a bunch of you have done that before. A bunch of you have done that. I'm telling you, you have done it. If you've been trading, when you first started, I guarantee you did that. And you definitely, you can't do that. It's going to kill your account. That's why I say, set a price target. Set a target. When you're up green, that's what this is all about, is getting out green. Whether it's a little bit of green or a lot of green or a tremendous amount of green, green is green. So take it. Get out and take those profits. You're in this for the long haul, folks. This isn't a one-time shot. You don't have to make a fortune in one trade. Hopefully you're in this for a long stretch of time. You've got plenty of time ahead of you to take those little gains and let them build up over time. You've got plenty of time to do it. You don't have to make a fortune in one trade. So if it starts to drop on you, get out while you're green. And if it goes back up, oh well, you know, that's part of trading. It's going to happen. You're going to jump out at some point, and the stock's going to keep right on going, and you're going to kick yourself. But that's just part of trading. It's going to happen. It's going to happen to you. Accept it. But you've got to learn when that thing goes red on you, you've got to have in your head, all right, just like you do when it goes green, you've got to have that price target in your head, that percentage target in your head. When it goes low, when I go in the red, there's only a certain amount of red I'm willing to accept. And when it gets there, I'm out. I'm not going to keep holding it, hoping it goes back up again. Get out of that mindset of thinking it might go back up. When it drops to a certain amount that you pre-decide ahead of time, when it gets down there, get out. I can want to say it nicely. Get out and stop holding on those big bags. You can only hold so many of those, and you're going to blow up your account. You got to cut it. Cut the ties. Cut bait and run, as they say. CMND. Clear Mind Medicine advances its proprietary psychedelic-based synthetic alcohol beverage. Got to try me some of that. CMND. That sounds very interesting, if nothing else. Clear Mind Medicine advances its proprietary psychedelic-based synthetic alcohol beverage. And everybody said yum, yum at the same time. Oh my. That sounds very, very interesting, at least. It doesn't sound very good, but it sounds interesting. Like, yeah, I got to try a sip of that. I got to try a sip of that and see what it tastes like. Psychedelic based. So it's hard to tell you. It's hard to say what that's made of. It'd be interesting to read up on that and find out what that's made of. What does it take to be able to day trade multiple times? Well, if you have a margin account, you can trade unlimited. Pattern day trader account, you can day trade as many times as you want. That's one of the advantages of having a day trader account, margin account. When you sell a stock, there's no wait time for the money to clear. It automatically goes back into your account to be used again. There's no wait time. You know, the whole T+2 thing they have, that's eliminated with the margin account. So you can trade the same money over and over and over and over all day long. Royer, I start the Wolfpack starts pre-market trading on our website at 6:45 a.m. Yeah, you need 25K in your account to have a margin account, to have that, what they call pattern day trader account. You got to have at least 25K in your account. And that's not just one specific broker's rules. That's across the board with the SEC and FINRA rules. You have to have at least 25K. SGBX press release. That's on our micro float list. Contract with the government increased by approximately $1 million to construct 11 additional military container offices. SGBX. That press release is 30 seconds old. SGBX. 25K untouched. No, Vince, once you have the 25K in there, you ask them for a margin account. They almost always give it to you as long as you've got 25K in there. And then you can trade from that 25K. As long as your end of the day, at the end of the day, as long as your balance from cash and stock values, as long as that stays at 25K or higher, you're golden. So you can trade from that 25, spend 5 of it, say, so cash is now at 20, but you've got $5,000 worth of stock, you're still at 25K. It's the overall value of your account, not just cash. SGBX, how many of you got it? SGBX. Removed it last night because of the private placement. Ah, gotcha. As you can tell, Sandy, I still haven't updated my micro list. But it certainly moved like a micro. And continues to move like a micro. Well, I don't trade options, Anthony. So I probably, looking at your journal, I probably wouldn't be able to give you any really, really good sound opinion on that because I don't trade options. It's not my wheelhouse. Robert, SGBX from 533 to 584. S&D Home Goods, SGBX 549 to 613. Another good example of the wolf pack giving you another one. From $4.50 on that call out, it's now at $6.35. It's gone up almost $2 in 4 minutes. Mark, 525 to 650. That's how you do it. So that's what the wolf pack really is all about. We've given you 2 since I've been live here this morning that ran up extremely nice. So that's kind of what we do. We call out the press release as soon as it comes out, give you an opportunity at least. Not everybody jumps into every stock that I mention is, got a really good press release. Not everybody jumps into every single one, obviously. No, it wasn't 450 on the call out. That's where it started out, was at 450. I don't have a 30-second candle. Mine only goes to a minute. But the press release was less than 30 seconds old, which is still pretty good timing. I don't think you could catch it any quicker than that. Robert says that trade put him solid in the green today. All right. All right, folks, it is time for me to get out of here and get back to the website where we are going to continue this until the market opens. I'll be back on TikTok and YouTube at 9:15 this morning, 9:15 a.m. Eastern time, and we'll catch the opening bell together with you and get you up to speed on what we've been catching on our website. You're welcome to join us on the website. It's wolfpackcommunity.com. There's a link on YouTube. There's a link on TikTok underneath my profile and on the main page of the profile. You're welcome to join us. Just go to the website, subscribe to live trading, and join us every single trading morning. We start at 6:45 in the morning, so you get about 3 hours of press releases. So you guys have a great day, and I'll see you at 9:15. And thank you, YouTube, for hitting the subscribe button on our live stream. Much, much appreciated. And thank you, TikTok, for hitting the follow button. Also very much appreciated. So you guys have a good morning, and I'll see you in about 45 minutes.